All right, Detroit, we are back. I know this isn't our normal starting screen, but we are here. And if you look bottom right, the Detroit Red Wings take the last wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. So the Red Wings are back in the playoffs. Now, let's go ahead and we are going to do a season wrap up here. And let's just take a look. So David Perron was a 30-goal scorer, 71 points. That is really nice to see. The veterans are definitely working for us. Let's see what else we got. Larkin at a 70 points. Now that's interesting. We made the playoffs and our second line looked to be heavy minuses. At least Raymond was. But he had 32 goals. That'll really help in his statistical growth through the offseason. And making the playoffs will really help these guys. Now, Verona brought it back. He didn't quite have a 20-goal season as a sniper. So not exactly what we're looking for. But 50 points pretty much. Not too bad. Andrew Kopp had a decent season. Now Kubalik has a minus 13 with 42 points. Means he's given up a lot of goals on his line. He was on the third line. Sider was a plus 8, which is good. Hronek was a plus 6. So that third line really was just giving up so many goals. Luke Glendening was a minus 1, so not too bad. But that definitely means he was a big minus for us. Minus 26 for Hag. So don't worry about these guys. We're going to be upgrading these guys through free agency. Maybe Edvinsson even jumps up all the way. But let's go ahead and sort here. Keandre Miller was a plus 15. What about Valimaki? He was still a plus, so that's big. So I definitely think Keandre Miller and Valimaki are going to be good pieces for us for the future. Keandre Miller might actually even get a bump in the offseason, so even a better second-line defenseman. Let's go ahead and take a look at the goalies. Husso had a pretty good year. Now, he has no X factors, but an 87, that's actually right around where I would expect him. 33 wins isn't too bad, though. Nedeljkovic just under 500, so not awful for a backup. Now, what I definitely want to take a look at, let's go ahead and see Zadina. He finishes at an 83, so he might jump up to like an 85, 86 since he is medium elite. Hopefully he gets a big jump. The other ones I would want to look at, I mean, we know Raymond finished at an 86, so hopefully he can go up to like an 87, 88 after the end of this year. I don't think there's anyone else we want to look at here, but let's go ahead and look at AHL. So they are 70 games in. We have our point leader here is Zarnik with 22 goals. Valeno has 24, so he has really started producing. He's at a 78 still, so that is interesting. But let's see, Soderblom still at a 77, 45 points. He's doing pretty well. Edvinsson at 35 points as a defenseman is really good, so he should get a decent jump. Same with Wallander at 28 points. Casper is at 25 points. I don't know why he's not getting production, but since that quarter point of the season, he hasn't really grown in overall, so his natural growth isn't really going up, but hopefully he can get up to like a 76 or 77 through the offseason, and he can play some first line time there for the Griffins next year. But we are officially in the playoffs. So let's go ahead and we're going to advance a couple days. Let's go ahead and take a look at the record for the AHL squad, see how they're doing. They are 40, 24, and 6, so they are definitely a playoff team here. I think we can actually just check and see how they end this season without missing any playoff games. So let's go ahead and hop into the calendar here, and we can just go ahead and simulate up to here, see if they get some wins, some more losses, whatever it ends up being. NHL season is complete, but that playoff game... Wait. Tyler Bertuzzi is fully healed. He didn't get taken out. Oh, we might have missed a playoff game there. And/or I think that might have been the last game of the regular season. But the Griffins end 41, 25, and 6. Let's just check. Okay, so I did miss a game of the playoffs, but it was a 4-3 overtime win, and we have to face the Lightning. We have a 2-game win streak against the Lightning. If there's any underdog story, it's this one. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do is take a look at the lines for the Lightning to see what we're up against. But we are on a 2-game win streak. The Griffins finished 41, 25, and 6, but we're not going to pay attention to their playoff stats. We are going to pay attention to our Detroit Red Wings here back in the playoffs. So let's go ahead and just get this simulated up a day. And let's go ahead and take a look at the lines for the Lightning, see what kind of team we're up against. Now, we know it's a good team, but how good? Let's go ahead and find out. So, we got the Tampa Bay Lightning here. So, their first line, I mean, you got Stamkos, who's that exact elite. You got Kucherov, who's a franchise. The maxed out X factors. You have Point, who has maxed out silvers, doesn't have a zone, but definitely looking good. Kucherov scored for them. But I mean, after their top two lines, I think we have them on depth. I think we really do. I think our bottom two are better than their bottom two. And honestly, our second line, I would even put as better. I think just that 93, 90, and 89 is what is better than ours. Now, defense, they definitely have us on these two guys. They beat our top two guys. And Chernak and Cole beat our second line, and then these guys are about even on our third line. So defensively, they definitely have us, especially with the X factors. And then this is where they for sure have us, is Andrei Vasilevsky. So that is going to be tough to beat in a 7-game series. They took us to overtime in game 1, but we did beat them on home ice. So we definitely took a game off of home ice. So let's go ahead and we're going to jump right into this series. Now, I don't necessarily want to put too much hope into this. They had 19 points. Oh, no, that was Colorado, but they were top in our division. Let's go ahead and see how this goes. We are 1-0 in the series. That's really big for us. First period, here we are. We kept them to no goals, 17 shots. I think we definitely have better depth than them. So maybe keeping them scoreless through 1 is a good sign. Second period, we are up 2-1. Valimaki and Raymond. Corey Perry scores on their second line. But third period, ladies and gentlemen, we are up 2-0 in the series against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This would be the biggest upset there is in the current NHL status. Let's go ahead and see. We're winning 1-goal games here. Let's get up into game 3 here. AHL season is complete. That's cool with me. Let's go ahead and get into the simulation of this game. We're up 2-0 in the series. That's really big. First period, we're up 3-1. Bertuzzi, Perron, and Keandre Miller. Kucherov comes back. He is a goal scorer. Looks like he scored on maybe a wraparound on the power play, but Perron scores on the power play, and then Bertuzzi and Miller at even strength. Second period, we keep them scoreless. That's big. Third period, and we score 3 more in the third period. We are handling the Tampa Bay Lightning with authority. Raymond is producing in the playoffs. This is big. This is big. We might see some massive growth out of our young guys up in the NHL if we can keep this going. 3-0 on the Tampa Bay Lightning. We just need 1 game. 1 game out of the next 4. Can we sweep the dynasty of the current era? It's going to be a tough task. This is a tall task. They know what it takes to win. They know what it takes with their backs up against the wall. First period, Jacob Vrana and Moritz Seider. We're up 2-1. Second period, David Perron puts us up 3-1. Let's go ahead and real-time simulate this third period here. This could be the biggest upset in NHL. In the current NHL status, this could be massive. A power play, put it out of reach. Can't capitalize on the power play there, but we're looking at 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, and the Red Wings sweep the first round. The Red Wings sweep the 3-time Stanley Cup in the last 4 years. The 4-time in the last 4 years making it to the finals. They kick them out in round number 1. Are there any other sweeps happening? Let's advance one more day, see if we get any other sweeps. Oh, we don't know yet, but Toronto might be able to break their curse of the first round. Let's see what it looks like. Toronto breaks their curse. They 4-0 Boston. Columbus 4-0s the Islanders, which is big, but no Western Conference team. So it looks like we're going to have Toronto in the second line, or in the second round. That is going to be a tall task. Let's see. Any other finishes? Florida Panthers are up 3-2 on the Rangers, and the Avalanche have beaten the Canucks to go to the second round. Let's see what we got here. Any more finishes over here? The Panthers still haven't finished off the Rangers. No more finishes. Let's advance a day. See what we're looking at here. So the Dallas Stars beat the Edmonton Oilers, so McDavid's still not getting a chance to play in the Cup. No finishes over there with the Kings and Ducks or Blues and Wild. And the Rangers and Panthers are in Game 7. Let's see. So let's go ahead and get up one more day. The Wild take the Blues. We are in Game 7 with the Ducks and the Kings. And Jordan Osterley has been injured with an injured neck. That's the AHL we're just going to replace. And let's see how the Eastern Conference. So it is now the Red Wings versus the Maple Leafs and the Panthers versus the Blue Jackets. And then we're still not fully done with this round of the playoffs yet. And there we are. So we have exactly what we thought. We have the Red Wings against the Maple Leafs, which is going to be another high-powered offense series. We have the Panthers and the Blue Jackets, and then we have the Wild and the Avalanche, and then the Kings and the Stars. So I am going to take a brief break for some IRL stuff here, but it's going to be in the same video. We're going to hop into the second round, so we will be right back. All right, everybody, we are back, and as we just witnessed, the Detroit Red Wings not only won their last game of the season against the top team in the division to make it into the playoffs, but then beat them 4 games in a row, only even letting one get to overtime. That is extremely impressive. 4-0 in the playoffs. Now, before we get started on round 2, what I think we're going to do is let's go ahead and check the AHL squad. So the AHL squad did get eliminated round 1. That's okay. They made the playoffs, so that'll give some good experience to those really young guys. But it is 2 teams that swept going into the second round. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the team leader in points for round number 1. So we have player stats here. Let's go ahead and see. So Lucas Raymond and Andrew Kopp, that second line really got it done. It looks like the first line did give up some goals, but they did get points. Yeah, that second line was killer. +6, +7, and +7. Mortsider was a 0. I expect that to go up. Dylan Larkin was a -2, Verana -2, and Perron was a -. I expect that to get better. So if that second line can really keep producing the way that it is, we have a great chance here. Let's go see our new pickups, Keandre Miller and Valimaki. So Valimaki's a +5 through the playoffs. That's really nice. Keandre Miller's a +2, and they have 3 goals combined. So we are getting contribution from the defense. But let's go ahead and look at our goaltender situation. Ville Husso at 4-0 with a .943 save percentage and a 1.6 goals against average. That is outstanding for Ville Husso. He played great against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So what we're going to go ahead and look at now is the lines for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Once again, another heavy offensive firepower team. But I think with our changes that we made with our 87 overall goalie, our ups to defense, and our defensive forwards, we might be able to replicate what we did against the Lightning and keep them to 3 goals max. I think that would give us a very good chance at taking round 2 as well. Now, let's go look at what Toronto has. So that first line is definitely a lot stronger. That looks like a +5 line to me. So Marner, Matthews, and Nylander, that's going to be hard to stop. But same kind of thing. They have a second line with 1 player. Other than that, the depth is very lacking. Let's check out their defense. Now they have Morgan Riley at 88, 83, 84, 83, 81, 81. So kind of similar to ours. I honestly think it's probably a wash on which team has better defense. And then they have Ilya Samsonov. So we definitely have them on goaltenders, only by a little, but we do. It's just this first line I'm really worried about keeping out of the net. So we're going to have to take a look at that. But I think we have a chance in this. I think we have an actual serious chance in this playoff run. Our team played phenomenal round 1. I don't see why that couldn't keep happening. Now, I think we're just going to go ahead and get into the second round. We'll jump right into it. So let's go ahead and get into game number 1. So, we're going to skip through the first period here. First period, we do outscore them, Kampf and then Matthews, so that's exactly what I thought, is keeping Matthews off the book is going to be tough. But Raymond, I told you Larkin would come back, and Hronek, so that's a good first period for our top pairings. Second period, they do come and tie it back up with Nudi Vara. Let's see, real-time sim in the third period. We are out shooting them. I don't expect that to stay, but we'll see how this goes. 12 minutes left. All right, 10 minutes left. Power play. Oh, and they get a power play goal. I knew it was going to be just a lot of firepower. Maybe they can bring it back late. Maybe 1 minute, 10 seconds. Oh, so we do drop game number 1, but all in all, I mean, we had a very heavy start, but we didn't really do anything in the second or third period. And that might attest to it being a much younger core, but I still don't think we are out of contention in the slightest. I think we have a good team. I truly do. So let's go ahead and see what game 2 brings us. I think keys are going to be our top 2 lines. Need to produce. Need to produce. First period. Andrew Kopp scores twice. That's a second line production I was saying we needed. Second period. Oh, and Toronto scores 3 times. That's Matthews again, Kelly Yarncroc, and Nick Robertson. So, same kind of thing. We didn't get any offense in the second period. Pretty much no shots. Let's see, second period shots. I mean, yeah, we got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots in all of the second period. So, definitely not enough. And realistically, we didn't have many in the first either, like 8, but we scored 2. But once again, only 1 goal down. I don't think this is, I don't think we're out of it. Let's go ahead and see how the third period plays out. Now, we definitely need to have a lot of possession here. We got a power play. That's a perfect chance. Can't capitalize. We just can't give them another one. Got to play solid defense for the rest of the game. 10 minutes, 9, 8, and yeah, Matthews. It's just going to be hard to keep him off the book. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. But our power play is really hurting us in the playoffs. I think we're like 1 for 7, 1 for 8 maybe. It's really tough. Another, I mean, 1 goal game with the late goal coming in the third. But down 2-0. I know they had home ice advantage, so we're going back to Little Caesars Arena here. So let's see. They're 6-0 in the playoffs. They are on a tear. Osterley is fully healed. AHL is out of the playoffs, so I'm not going to worry about slowing down for that. Let's see how game 3 goes. We need to get this game. If we go 3 down, I don't see much of a chance with this high power of a team. Period 1. Matthews twice. Yeah, we just can't keep him off the book. He's in too much firepower right there. Second period. We do get 1 back. David Perron. See, we're only 1 goal down. We are getting outshot here. We need 1 more back. Don't let him score on the power play. All right, good penalty kill. Another penalty kill. We kill it off again. This is the penalty kill is giving you guys the chance to tie it up. Oh, come on, boys. 5 minutes. 4 minutes. 3, 2, 1. And they get an empty net goal to seal the game off. We have to reverse sweep the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I don't think it's impossible. It is just extremely improbable with the fact that, I mean, 3 goals was our max. Then we're just steadily dropping, and we haven't given up less than 3. That Matthews is just so strong. Let's see how it goes. Game number 4. Are we going to sweep and then get swept? Hopefully not. Let's make it at least a series. Give something the home fans to cheer about. Giordano scores on Husso in period 1. Period 2. Bring it within 1 with Lucas Raymond. He's really playing his ass off in the playoff. He's really playing his butt off in the playoff. Let's bring it back, Detroit. Come on. Let's see if we can take a game in round 2. Power play. Man, that power play is really rough. Penalty kill. And they get a power play goal with Matthews. Can bring it back close here, and they can't capitalize on the power play. And I think that is the season. Another power play for Toronto. And that looks like the season. Empty net goal for Zach Aston Reese. And there is the season for the Red Wings. Now, all in all, taking over a rebuilding team, I am not disappointed with this season at all. We 4-0 the best team in the division. Now you can make an argument that the Leafs are, but realistically, I mean, that's going to be so hard to argue. The Tampa Bay Lightning just had so many points, but the Leafs are 8-0 in the playoffs right now. They're a really heavy team. They're going to be a hard team to overtake. Let's go ahead and look at, we have 8 games played here in the playoffs. Let's see who performed and who didn't. So, we know Raymond had 10 points. That's a big playoff. Kopp had 10 points. That's big playoffs. Bertuzzi, 6 points. That's a good showing. Perron, Larkin, and it looks like Verana could not keep the puck out of the net. Now, I mean, 5 points, 3 goals. That's just not enough for a 91 overall player. He should have been up here at 10 as well. I mean, Colin Miller being at a 0 of 4 assists in the playoffs is really good for a two-way defenseman on our top 4, so not too worried about that. Did anyone really not perform who should have? I mean, Zadina only had 1 assist. He really was quiet. Verana had 2 goals, but no other points, a -6. Kubalik, 2 points, -5. So we definitely have a lot of good pieces. We have a lot of great pieces. We made the playoffs. We proved ourselves as another contender team, but I don't think we're quite there. Like I said, I don't think we're going to be quite there. I wouldn't have even been surprised if we missed the playoffs, but we made it to round 2. We swept the Lightning. That is a very good achievement for year number 1 because our team should only get better. So I am going to go ahead and just simulate the offseason. We're going to check out who won the playoff or who won the cup, who where they performed, where our draft pick sits. We're probably going to be somewhere in like 26. It'll be 24 or later, so we'll have to see about that. But no, I don't think. I mean, we're not going to be doing trading up. The Avalanche take the cup. Now, let's go ahead and stop simulating. And hopefully I didn't go too far to where we can't see playoff bracket. Let's see how it played out. So playoff progress, we still have it here. So it looks like losing to Toronto, they did make it to the Stanley Cup final. They got swept, but they made it to the final. So losing to them means losing to the second best team in the league. And if you don't lose to them, that means you win the cup. So I think we had a great run here. Now, I would have liked to not get swept in round 2, but regardless of how it works out, if we would have lost in 7, it still ends up being the same. It just gets a little more games for our players, but I do think it played out really well. Let's go ahead and we can sim to the draft here. We're not going to get into the draft in this. Yeah, I mean, we're not even in there. So we have no lotteries. Carolina, wow. They're going to be a firepower team with Connor Bedard on that squad. Whoa. So that's going to be an interesting development, is seeing Carolina with Sebastian Aho, Teuvo Teravainen, and Connor Bedard. I would imagine that is their top line. That is going to be interesting. So let's go ahead and get up to the draft here. We're going to take a look at retired players now that we're here. And let's see who year 1 retirements are. We got Shea Weber, Ryan Kessler, Andrew Ladd, Valtteri Filppula, Brent Seabrook, Brendan Dubinsky, Blake Como, Carl Soderberg, Justin Ablocator, lifetime Red Wing. I like that. Lori Korpikoski, Vladimir Sobotka, Leo Komarov, Roman Polak, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare. So Tampa Bay loses Bellemare. Matt DiAugustini, Yannick Weber, Matt Irwin, and then a lot of these guys down here that didn't really make an impact on the NHL. So let's see. Coach retirement, any Detroit or Grand Rapids Griffins. We do have Michael Masalis, so we will have to replace him. He is fully retired. Taylor Fedon is a Pittsburgh Penguin scout. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare is a Lightning scout, and Brent Seabrook is a Lightning scout. That's interesting. So they might be getting towards the end of their dynasty era, and they might start doing rebuilds soon. Interesting. Let's continue simming. We don't need to view the draft class. We can look at that while we're drafting because we're not trading up in this draft. I think we have all the right pieces. I think we have a great core to move forward with. We can build for depth in the draft, and then we're going to build through free agency. We are not going to trade up for picks. So I think we wrap up this video by getting an idea of what the contract situation is going to look like for the next video. So we're going to have to re-sign. Let's see. We're going to have to re-sign Larkin, Bertuzzi, Sundqvist. We'll see on how much money he wants. Glendening did drop to 79, but he has top 9 exact, so I don't think he'll drop anymore. I think he would be a great depth player to have, so we'll probably get him re-signed. Robert Hagg, same kind of thing. We'll check on free agency. I mean, we'll check and see what we have and then decide if he's the depth player we want to go for or if there's somebody else. We'll probably go to somebody else. Jordan Osterley, I like for that AHL squad. He gets a good amount of points. Keandre Miller, we're definitely going to want to sign. Valimaki, I think, would be a good signing. Lindstrom, same thing. He'll be depth if we need him. We'll take a look when we get there. But all in all, not too bad. And let's check our goalies. So no one will have to re-sign Nedeljkovic, but I don't think he'll want too much money as the role being backup goalie. So he shouldn't take up too much money. And it looks like we have 20 mil in cap space so far. Let's go ahead and see what it says. So 49 mil. We should have a lot of money to work with here. Yeah, let's go ahead and close up this video now. And next video, we will go ahead and jump into the entry draft, get a lot of the offseason done, and then get into year number 2. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.